Hey there, let me show you a powerful way that you can use Canva.com to actually create interesting designs for your t-shirts. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So here, I'm going to go ahead and click on create a new design. And basically, what I'm going to choose is I'm going to choose a t-shirt. So I'm going to go ahead for t-shirt. Now I want you to do the same thing. So click t-shirt 14 by 18 inches. Let's go back to ChatGPT and ask it for some ideas. So here I'm going to say, what is the best thing one can say to his dad? Right, so what is the best gift or best t-shirt design word for someone who lost their dog? You know, let's just think outside the box. Maybe someone has lost their dog, and yeah. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to say it should be a word, not 1,000. Now here it says remembered, forever, cherished, loved, heartbroken, cherished. Well, something dog language. I don't mean any offense. Dog language is basically something like a paw or something like this. Forever. Yeah, this one is nice. So let's say that, for example, you want to use this word. So let me show you how you can make this interesting as a design. So first of all, we can put this inside Canva, this forever. And we can go ahead and make sure that we do this. I have another idea better than forever. We can say paw rever, right? And basically, this is a pretty good text, but I'm going to have to switch to a completely different font. So I'm going to choose to the Bebas New font, right? Because it's a quite a long font. Not Rocca 1, come on. I want Bebas New. All right, finally. So here you can see I switched to the Bebas New font. What I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the size of this. And I want you to place this down below. So there's multiple ways of how you can go about this design to make it awesome. First of all, choose the color. Now, I'm going to keep the color as black. I think black color is pretty good. Then what I want to do, I want to duplicate this paw. I want to put it slightly or right on top of the first one. It should be touching it, but very slightly touching it. And you can actually zoom in to make sure that it's only slightly touching it. And then what I will do is I'll actually select that second one, and I'll decrease the transparency to about 80. Then I'll actually duplicate it, place another one on top, should be slightly touching. Now I can zoom in, and like I said, should be slightly touching, like this. And then I'll zoom out. This one, I'm going to make it 60 in terms of the transparency. Then what I will do is I'll actually go ahead and duplicate. Now this one, like I said, again, should be slightly on top. And you can zoom in to figure things out really well. Yeah, that's what slightly on top is. And this one now should be 40 in terms of the transparency. Then we need to duplicate one more time. Now let's go back. I made a mistake. I need to duplicate. This time I'm going to paste this right here. And I'll zoom in to ensure that it's well done. Oh, not like this, like this. And I'll zoom out. And now this one, it has to be 20. And the last one should be the final one. And it should maybe just be about 10 or something, or 5. First of all, let's zoom in. Max, let's put very small distance in between. You can see how good this is. Perfect. Now let's zoom out. And I'm going to click and basically go ahead to here. Make this 10. And that's it. Now if I zoom out, watch this. Now we have created a beautiful effect. Now, by the way, I can create a much more beautiful effect. But let's just say for a second that this is the design. Paw rever. Paw rever. So basically here, we can download this design. So we can say paw rever. And we can click share. And we can download it as an image. I'm going to download it as an image with a transparent background. After you do download it, you can already see that they're putting it on a template, which is nice. But what I want you to do, I want you to add a new page. And I want you to go ahead and drag this image now inside of a new page to then go ahead and edit it and I can put it on top of a t-shirt so that you can see how great this is going to look. So basically, if you click on mockups, and here you're looking for apparel, so click on apparel. This guy's wearing a t-shirt and he's outdoors, so let's click on his picture. Basically what this is going to do, it's going to put this picture on his t-shirt. Because this text is black, better off if the t-shirt is white. And they let you control the color of the t-shirt. As you can see, the t-shirt is white. I'll keep it as white. And you can even control the size of the design. Now, they obviously sized it up well, but you can size it up and down. And you can apply the changes once you're done. I don't have any changes to record, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep it as it was. And I'm going to increase the size just to show you the design, how it looks. And you can see that we really created something interesting. So if we go full screen here, watch this. Paw Rever, Paw Rever, Paw Rever. And basically, if you want to create the alternative version to it, you just have to turn the image white. And there's multiple ways of how you can go about this. You can either come over here, select all this text, change the color to white, and then download it like this with a transparent background. Believe me, even if you see nothing there, there is some text. Now I'm going to download page 1 only and click download. And now it's being downloaded. It's a white design. That's why you're not going to see it. But if I actually do open it up as a PNG, you'll see what I'm talking about. Watch this, right? So you can see that that's quite a nice design. So if we place it here, this will work perfect on a white t-shirt, or on a black t-shirt. So let's first of all drag and drop it. Now let me scroll to the top. As you can see, I've basically managed to drag and drop it. And now I'm going to click edit. And next I'm going to show you an advanced tip on how to create an awesome design. But now let's go ahead to mockups. I'm going to use apparel, and I'm going to use a t-shirt mockup. All right, so this t-shirt is white, which is why we can't see the design. But if we actually click the color, change it to anything but white, change it to black, for example, and apply the changes, all of a sudden you'll be able to see the design. So you can see that this works wonders on a black t-shirt. And so there's nothing better than this. And of course, there is a lot of ways on how you can make the design very interesting. So let's make it interesting right now with some tips. But first of all, let's go ahead and select everything, or not select everything. Just click on the background, turn it black, and that will show us the design. And what we can do as well is we can select everything, reduce the size of the elements like so, and we can split them or separate them from each other. So for example, we could put this like so. We could put a distance in between, and it would be better off if we make that distance the same between each and every one of them. So Canva allows us to do that. I just have to monitor. So here it's trying to put the same distance between each and every design. And you can see right now what we're kind of doing here. Now I can move them a little bit to the side. And then you can go ahead to elements. We can do the same thing by finding a paw, by elements. We can find a paw. Of course, a paw of a dog. And we can go to graphics. Now, obviously, there's a bunch of paws, but I have an idea. I can use this one. And basically, instead of coloring it black, I can color it white. First, let's add it. There it is. Well, they've placed it there. So I can actually just resize this, place it here. Then in terms of the color, I can change it to white. I can make sure this is bigger. Put it right there. And then what I can do is I can duplicate this, drag it onto the top. And at the second one, I can actually make it 80. And you get the story. This one, 60. I'm only controlling the transparency. This one, basically 40. And we have 20. And we have, all right. We have this one, it's about 20. And the final one is 10. So let's duplicate this. Let's make it 10. Like this. And you can see that now this is more interesting, all right? And now I can just get rid of the color in the background. And I can download this as a fresh new design. PNG as well and all. Page number 1, transparent background, download. And instead of this particular t-shirt here, we can actually, first of all, delete it. And we can show you now that it's going to look different. Now they're already showing us how this is going to look like by giving us a mock-up. That's why I like Canva so much. Now first, let me edit. Let's use mockups. And then let's find some t-shirt. All right. It seems that I have to do another click on mockups because it's not working that well. All right, let's do it again. All right, apparel. I'm going to click see all. Now I'm interested in someone wearing a t-shirt, maybe like this lady here, for instance. And we can see how this is going to look. Now, of course, the t-shirt here is white. We want to go with a black shirt so that at least we can see what the design is all about. Otherwise, nobody's going to be able to see the design. So black color is the color we're going to go for. Apply changes, and you need to apply changes for them to apply. Now you can make the image bigger in the meantime while the changes are being applied. But check this out. Very, very simple concept, but something that definitely can have a lasting impression. Maybe you can steal this design right now and actually go ahead and list it on Redbubble. And you could potentially thank me for it later if you make some money from it. Now, the quality of the image is still rendering, but I like the design. I like the concept. Paw Rever. Someone probably that has lost his dog might actually find this a particularly interesting design to wear for a couple of days. Now, how about this? How about we level up our skills a little bit? Now, let's move back for a second. And guess what? I'm going to take everything. I'm actually going to color this in black. But I'm going to get rid of all the paws. And I'm going to get rid of all of these. I'm only going to keep this. And I'm going to increase the size of it just so I can show you a simple trick. So here, this is a pretty good font. But I think it's time to change it. Probably let's go for League Spartan. Yeah. I'm going to use League Spartan, but this needs to be smaller. So let's just go ahead and use League Spartan, Paw Rever. I think I'm just going to put it here, but at the same time, I'm going to look for a paw. Now, let me find a different paws than this one. Let me show you the power of Canva. So if we go to graphics here, there's a bunch of paws. I like this one. So I'll click it. Then I want you to place it immediately right here next to that. As a matter of fact, you can even, if you have a way, you can attach it to it, but I'm just going to keep it like this at this size. I think is great. I'm going to select everything. I'm going to group. But what I want you to do is I want you to click on the Paw Rever, and basically I want to share, download, and I want to be able to download that page as a PNG with a transparent background. Because when a design becomes a PNG, you can do a lot of stuff to an image. So here I'm going to, instead of using that text, I'm going to use it as a design now. But I'll have to crop the excess, which we don't actually need. And the design is transparent anyways, which is nice. I'm going to remove the excess from the other side, and then I can just actually make it bigger, just like I want. And I want to place it right down there. So what I want you to do is you can edit this image. We have an option which is called duotone. This option allows you to change the color of your design if you wish. You can play with colors all you want, right? For example, if I want to make it green, I can make it green. You can change the color. I'm going to go back to original. And now if I duplicate this element, we have another element that looks just like it. But this time around, I want to create an optical illusion. In order to create the optical illusion, click Edit and click Blur. And then here, whole image, and let's add a blur of an intensity of about, is it 20? Yeah, 20. So let's make it 20. Now we added a blur of an intensity of 20. Now let's duplicate it one more time. And this time we're going to add a blur of an intensity that is less than 20. Now let me zoom in so that I can see for extra precision. I want it to touch that top just enough. Then we can edit. And here, if you edit, you can always access blur. It's the same element, it's just a duplicate. And then this one, we can make it 40. And I can exit the blur. And as you can see now, we have another element which is kind of blurry. All right, so 40. Now, let's duplicate. Let's put another one on top. Let's zoom in. And then zoom in a little bit more. This one, though, I'm going to edit it. And I'm actually going to go to blur. And I'm going to make it 60. And click out. And I can zoom out. And you can see how nice this is. Now, how about if I keep doing this for long enough? So if I duplicate one more time. Now, I don't want to duplicate two elements at a time. I just want to duplicate one element. Just this. As you can see, while I'm duplicating, things are getting a bit weird, but it's a pretty good design. So if I click edit again, I can take this blur, and this time I'm going to make it 80. And then go out. And that's it. I think I don't need to do more. And you can see that now we have created an optical illusion. And by the way, you can duplicate the same design. And you can do more of an optical illusion, such as reducing the transparency on each layer to kind of create a special effect. This one, 60. Even with the blur. This one, 40. This one, 20. And watch this. It really does look interesting, isn't it? So this one doesn't have any transparency whatsoever to it. The other one has transparency and it looks fantastic. And as you can see, power over. Now you can play with those blurs in order to go way to the top. So I did it in a much more aggressive way. So I used the blur intense. For example, the second one I could have made it instead of 20, I could have just made it 10 or maybe 15. In order for it to carry to the top, right? At the top it should diminish to the point where there's just a taste of the text. And then that could be used for a particularly beautiful design, right? So hopefully you've enjoyed this lecture so far. I wish that you can let us know what you want us to create the next video about. Passive Income Gen Z, wishing you the best and signing out.